The boys are back. I'll just start off. Apologies for Tag who can't make it. I think we all had different time slots. We all had different time slots throughout the day. And this is the only time that worked. I think me and Bish have had to juggle a few things to get the show on for us. So let's make it a good one. And apologies, Tag. But yeah, first off, Bish, how are you? And how was your betting week last week?
I'm a bit tired. I stayed up and watched the Rams game last night. Massive game against the 49ers. A big win. Not the game I thought it'd be. Like last week, high scoring, very low scoring, only field goals, but got the win. Killed me in fantasy. I started Purdy and Cup in one playoff. So I think that's officially I'm done. And betting weren't too great neither. After a great streak, confidence was high, but I've been, brought back down to earth. I got 1 out of 3. Jacoby Myers cleared his receiving yards. He was on. We needed 62. I think he finished in the high 60s. Saquon Barkley was 2 yards short on his longest rush. We needed 20. He could only get us 18, which is annoying because Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Hurts both hit over 20. So I kicked myself there. And the one I'm still racking my brains on is Jonnu Smith. We had him overs on his receiving and his receptions. And he's absolutely killed it the last 3 weeks, been the main man. And then he didn't see the ball until very late in the fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden, he couldn't stop seeing the ball in overtime. So I'm not sure what's gone on there. So that absolutely killed us as well. So, yeah, just 1 out of 3 this week. Luckily, the run I've been on is been good. So we're still up, just under 4 units. So looking to bounce back week 15.
I like it. Yeah, to cover mine, obviously. I had the Jameis one. I think Judy hit. Jameis hits thing didn't quite get the passing yards, or did Judy just get under the receiving as well? I can't remember now. I know it was close, but didn't quite hit. The Bucky Irving Tampa Bay Bucks, obviously Bucks hit. Irving got taken out of the game, I think within the first quarter and a half. So that was frustrating because Rashad White got over. So if you translate, I don't know, because obviously they share, so it's a tough one to call that. But Rashad White ended up getting like 85. I think I only needed 66 for Irving. I'm still confident I would have hit if Irving wasn't injured. And the one I did hit, got a bit lucky. So if you got on early, we got pretty lucky on this one. But I'm pretty confident it was the JSN and Zach Charbonnet. Obviously, Charbonnet ended up being the starting running back. I only need 8.5 receiving. He got that within, I think, the first 2 plays of the game. So that one was easy. And it was just watching JSN bring it home. And he had another big week without being too cocky as I predicted. So I'll drop in a bit of confidence. So yeah, happy with that one. Like I said, the Jameis one let me down, but you know what? We need a bit of bad luck. I've been pretty good, and I think if you got on the Charbonnet Jason one, it covered the other 2. So I think I were even. So it were an okay day coming out of it. No money, win or loss, pretty much. So I'm okay with it. But moving on to this week, Bish, I'll just give a quick thing because load of interesting games later on during the 6 o'clock window. I didn't find too much of a thing. It's a lot of bad teams playing bad teams, in my opinion, or good teams playing really bad teams. So I was struggling a bit, but I don't know how you found it. But I've got a couple to go at. Should be a good betting one. But yeah, I've gone a bit crazy, I think, with the odds.
Yeah, that late window is very juicy. In here, you've got the Buffalo and Detroit, and then you've got Steelers who are flying against the Eagles. So two massive games there, and then a few, like you said, big sided favourites. Baltimore. The interesting one for me is Dallas Carolina. Probably not a spectacle, but I think Carolina it's the first game they've been favourites for a hell of a long time. So yeah, some interesting ones. Hopefully see Joe Burrow light it up, which would be nice. So yeah, a bit of an appetizer for the 9 o'clock games.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? So yeah, without further ado, let's get stuck in. What's your first bet?
And my first bet is coming out of that Dallas Carolina game. It's Rico Dowdle over 83.5 rushing yards here. He's this is his backfield now. You know, the signed Saquon, the wish they signed Saquon. Ezekiel Elliott, they brought him back, and he's not really been a factor at all. Rico Dowdle in the last 3 games has averaged 19 carries. He's covered this line in the last 3 as well. The last 2 weeks, he's been way over 100 yards, so he's comfortably got there. Again, the Panthers, they're the worst team in the NFL against the rush. They give up the most yardage on the ground, and this is a game where I see it's going to be a ground game, I think. It's what Carolina do really well. They run the ball with Chuba Hubbard. And as I said, now Dallas are finding Cooper Rush has settled in, but Rico Dowdle is his workload. He's become a workhorse running back. So I think giving enough carries, if he gets anywhere close to the 19 carries that he's been averaging the last 3 weeks, I think he cruises past this. So 83.5 is the line here. If you're feeling a bit adventurous, you could stagger it and maybe go 90 plus, 100 plus. But yeah, I'm just taking the 83.5 here.
With you, Bish, yeah, love the bet. I've got a Dallas Carolina bet myself coming up, so we'll double up on here because yeah, like you said, I think it is the appetizing betting game to go after in that 6 o'clock one. So yeah, no, like it. Dowdle going to run all over the Panthers, as you said. They've really struggled. They're okay at defending the pass. Can't defend the run for Toffee for anything. So yeah, love it. I'll take you through my first bet, and I'm going easy for me on this first one because the other 2 are quite biggies. I've got DeAndre Hopkins over 44.5 and the Chiefs to hit the spread of minus 4.0 against the Cleveland Browns. I've been all fun on the Cleveland Brown Express. Obviously, the Jameis Express he's been flying it about, but I think Chiefs need to get it together. I think this is a game they can do. They'll have Jameis throwing it about being crazy. That defense needs to shut down Jameis, and I think they need a fairly convincing win here. D-Hop's been doing decent, been getting his touchdowns, as you might see later for me, but he's not quite had that big game, and I thought 44.5 against Browns defense that was meant to be outstanding. It's been okay. So I think D-Hop and Mahomes are going to have to get it going. Kelsey's not the same player. I think the man to go after is D-Hop here and get over 44.5. Wasn't too impressed with that figure, and Chiefs need it. I think they need it, and this is a game that they can do it in.
Yeah, I like DeAndre Hopkins. Is since the trade, he's slotted in nicely, hasn't he, there? And he's slowly, it seems, week on week, learning more of the playbook, getting a sort of rhythm with Mahomes. Scored last week as well. So, yeah, I think his yards are getting there. The Chiefs worry me. Like you said there, they are due a big game. It's sort of been an ongoing thing. They've just narrowly won games. Again, I know we like to be under the touchdown. With this one, I'd like to be under a field goal, if I'm honest. We seen them rattle the post last week and just about get by. But, yeah, I think that's, like you said, they are due. Against the Browns, famous Jameis, is it? Like you said, we love him, but we just don't know what we're going to get. It could be a pick six. It could be a long ball to Jerry Jeudy. Who knows? So that's the bit of doubt in there, I think. And they've got a left tackle issue. So if they can keep Myles Garrett quiet, I think that'll lead to a good day for them.
Like it. Bish, bet number 2.
Bet number 2 is Chase Brown over 29.5 receiving yards. It's the Bengals running back here. In a game, as I said, they're playing the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals lead the league in passing yards, and that's mainly because the defense is very bad. So Burrow is having to keep up. He's having to throw the ball a hell of a lot. And again, Chase Brown, it was a timeshare. Now he is the main back in that backfield. He's the only fit back really in that backfield. He gets all the workload. He's cruised past this figure 29.5 in his last 5 games. He's usually around 50, 50 receiving, and he averages 5 receptions a game. So do the maths. It's not much, and you're over 30. It's about 8. Maths aren't very good on the spot, but yeah, it's about 6 yards a carry. So, which is more than capable of doing. So, again, in a game where I think the Bengals will run a bit riot here. Burrow's been a frustrated figure with how bad the defense has been. But on the other hand, the Titans, we've not seen much offense from our man Will Levis. So, he's been pretty poor the last couple of weeks. So I just think this is a game where the Bengals get loose, really. And I see our man Chase Brown covering this quite comfortably.
Like it, yeah. We've chased the running backs all year, and it's not really let us down in the whole. I think we're more down on the receiving yards of the running backs. For some reason, they're not waking up to it. So yeah, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
My second one is in the game we mentioned earlier. This Dallas Carolina game that we're all a bit interested in, and I thought, like you said, it's definitely going to be a running game, but I still thought these numbers were pretty low. We've got CD Lamb 64.5 receiving, and we've got Leggett at 37.5. I'm going the overs on both. We saw Leggett's. I really like him. I'm just frustrated at the drops. He gets open. He's a great personality. He's a good wide receiver. He's had one or two little drops. The one that to win the game last week were so close. I don't want necessarily like no offense to him, I'll name drop a Quentin Johnson drop that was in his hands and it's like falling out. It won't let he dive and it popped out. It kind of had it, kind of didn't. So it were close one. And I think 37 now. I think they're going to start going. I predicted a couple weeks back now, a month or two ago, that they're going to start using him more and more. And he's been steady. And obviously we saw one or two sadly misses for him to hit some big numbers. So I think he's there. And then CD Lamb over 64.5. I just thought against this Carolina, the defense is just, as we said, is just awful, especially rushing the ball. But it's not like these. It's not like the throwing game, the passing game's been amazing either. And I thought with someone of Lamb's talent, I think he hits this one pretty to say that they don't have many other wide receivers either. I think Lamb's numbers there is really low, and then I've chucked in the Hubbard one, same reason as you, different running back, opposite team. So Dallas are the third worst, so it's the first and third worst rushing defenses going against each other. And we've seen how good Chuba's been all season long, really. Now he had a running back join him for a couple of weeks, Jonathan Brooks. Now he's done his ACL again. It's back to just completely Chuba. I think he hits this one comfortably. Like you said, there'll be a lot of rushing in this game, and he can break loose here. They don't have any big bodies, Dallas, to stop any big running backs. And Chuba is a big running back, and I don't think there's no one to stop him. Like I said, going toe for toe with Rico here and having a big game. So pretty happy with that one. It's 11-2. Earn a bit of cash.
Yeah, I like it. As you said there, I picked Rico Dowdle, but I was back and forth between Chuba and Rico. I think both cover that yardage. CD Lamb is the main man in it, so he's going to get force fed a lot of ball. It's just his AC joint. As long as he gets through the game, I think he'll get enough targets to get that. And like you said, Leggett as well, bit raw. I saw an interview with him recently. I think he did a podcast with the St. Brown brothers. That he seems a really good personality. And Bryce Young's stepping up since he's been benched. He's come back. He's looking really good. So he's getting plenty of ball. So I'm liking this one, Joe.
Like it, thank you. Best third bet for you.
My third one, and it's a hat trick of running backs. It's David Montgomery over 2.5 receptions. And I just think this is staggeringly low and great odds. I was looking at his yardage. He's over 15.5. Again, another one that he's smashed the last few weeks. But I think we forget about David Montgomery. He's an all-purpose back. He's a pass-catching back at Chicago. He caught balls. Just in the backfield he's in now, the old Sonic and Knuckles pair. He's seen as the north-south heavy runner. But actually, the last 4 games, he's hit this line. He's had at least 3 receptions. I believe in one he's had 5 receptions as well. It's the highest points total of the week. I think it's the over-unders 53 in this game, the Lions and the Bills. So I expect to see a lot of offense, a lot of points. If Buffalo defend anything like they did against the Rams, this has got 60, 70 points combined written all over it. We know how good the Lions can be, their offense. So I expect a lot. And as I said, David Montgomery, I just think this is ridiculously low. He's being used an awful lot. He seems to get in there early. He does the early work, and then Gibbs comes in a bit later on. So a bit of pressure from the Bills, and hopefully, this is we see this one fly home. So it's I've gone with the receptions rather than the yardage, but as I've done in previous weeks, if you're confident, stick them both together, and you'll get some juicy odds there.
I like it, yeah. Like I said, extremely low. It's like they've made that figure based on, like I said, expectation rather than statistics. Because he's last couple of weeks, as you said, I think he had more rushing and receiving yards than Gibbs last week. So it's not like Gibbs is getting all the plaudits, but Monty is still there doing his thing. And like you said it early on in this game, that's going to be a thing. I think they'll go to Monty even more than Gibbs because he gets through the tough work and probably opens it up for Gibbs with his electric speed when they're a bit more tired. That's when they use. I love the way they do it, but yeah, Monty needs to keep getting his respect because that is an extremely low figure. My last one, it's in the same game, Bish. I apologize. Like I said, I think there were 3 or 4 games that were all just juicy, and the other ones didn't. They just didn't get me going. I tried to avoid it, but so I've loaded up the last one. I'm calling it. So I went through all the bet boosts of the week. I always pick one, and there was one that stood out to me. I didn't like any of them this week, so I'll put this in, even though it's a risky one. There was not many that I think were ones that you should go after. But we've got the MVP bet boost, and I think if we're going to see the next MVP of this NFL year, it's this man, and he's going to do it having a huge game against one of the toughest teams in the league, and it's Josh Allen. It's the Josh Allen MVP bet boost. He needs over 250 passing yards, 50 plus rushing, get a touchdown himself, and 2 passing TDs. It's a big ask. But I think with how good this man's been, how bad the defense has been the last week or two, as you said, I think the storyline fits that even in a loss, that classic, as we heard last week, in a loss, he's going to have MVP type numbers. Obviously, going over last week again, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, 82 yards rushing, 342 yards passing, and then obviously hit all these numbers very easily last week. Obviously, I'm biting. He normally hits the week before against San Fran. He didn't hit 250, but every other week before that, for the last 3 or 4, he's hit 250 passing. The rushing yards worries me because it's either hit or miss for him. He either has a big 50, 80 type yard, or he has a 7, 1, 2 yards. So he's flip-flopping with them numbers quite often. So that's the one that scares me, Bish. The 2 passing touchdowns don't scare me. It's Detroit's weakness in defense. I'm staying away from James Cook. Detroit just completely stopped down the rush against the running backs. You get him by your wide receivers and your passing game being phenomenal. I think this is the game to do it. He's going to need it. We've seen how good Detroit are. He's going to need a game this special. The rushing yards is the one that scares me. The rest of them, I think we're good. So let's hope we see Josh Allen break play for 1 or 2 runs, trying to extend them plays.
Yeah, I like it. Again, this time of year, Josh Allen, the last couple of years, he's stepped up. He's just been let down by his team, but he's got plenty of offensive weapons at the minute. As if this goes as scripted, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Ideally, we want the Lions to be leading, and then Josh Allen has got to chase the game. We're going to see that passing yards, and again, it's that scrambling, it's that 50-plus rushing yards that we're hoping for. So I'm pretty confident he'll nick a touchdown. Last week, I thought James Cook would get some action. He didn't see much action at all. It was all Josh Allen. So yeah, he's taking it upon himself to lead the team. But this year, he's got some recruits who we can rely on as well. So yeah, I'm excited to watch this one. I just hope it goes that way and not last night like the Rams 49ers did, where it's just a running game and we see David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs just running the ball constantly. So hopefully there's some high scoring and we can watch Josh Allen do his thing.
Like it. We've obviously said about Tag sadly can't make it, but Bish trying to take us through his bet.
So he's got Derrick Henry over 100 yards and a touchdown, and they're coming up against the Giants. He's got Jamar Chase over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. They're coming up against the Titans. And then he's got Josh Daniels over 250 passing yards and to pass for 2 touchdowns as well. And they have the New Orleans Saints. So he's gone with the teams that are, big favourites. We don't have a price on this at the minute, but we'll get one up for the weekend. But yeah, he's gone with the big favourites, expecting one-sided games. And to be fair, all these numbers, these players are more than capable, and they've cleared them regularly this season. So sticking them all together, Tag just wants that big one win to get him right for the year. So hopefully it's this one.
Yeah, it's a huge one. It's a huge one. There'll be ginormous odds. So yeah, excited to see the odds on this one. Like you said, he's gone favouritism. Not favouritism. He's gone high favourites. Good offences. The reasoning will be there. It's just like you said, whether they can all pull it off. But yeah, that'll be in with your Tag. And then finally, sorry, go on, Bish.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the biggest one for me is Jaden Daniels. I think, New Orleans Saints have just lost the quarterback. Spencer Rattler's coming in. So we're going to need a bit of luck of him, keeping the score respectable, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Henry should do fine. Chase has just been hitting them numbers for fun the last couple of weeks. So yeah, come on, Daniels. Let's bring it home for Tag. And then finally, the punt touchdown treble. We don't have the graphic as of yet, but we'll have it for the weekend. I've gone DeAndre Hopkins. Tag went Travis Kelce and Bish.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. It's two ways. I either go away from the Jags or I double down, triple down. This is probably, I think, my 4th stab at it now. So I'm going again on the Jags. I'm posing the Jags very bad. Well, I say very bad. It's not come in the last 4 weeks, but touchdown defense to wide receivers. Devontae Adams, a bit of a revival from Aaron Rodgers. So I want to see Devontae Adams score here. This is coming in at 17.5 to 1, but it'll be various odds, various bookmakers over the weekend.
Yeah, like I said, Travis Kelce, Diop, same reasoning. Tag must be going with me where they need that get right game. I think it is the game to do it. Let's hope Mahomes is on fire and going to his 2 best options in the receiving game. Well, that's it. Nice and quick and juicy today, Bish. Rattled through them all. I'll let you read them out one last time in a minute. But yeah, let's go again. We're excited for this week.
Bet 1 is Rico Dowdle over 83.5 rushing yards. Bet 2 is Chase Brown over 29.5 receiving yards. And bet 3 is David Montgomery over 2.5 receptions.
I've gone that Chiefs getting the get right game and DeAndre Hopkins over 44.5 receiving. I've gone CD Lamb in over 64.5 receiving. Xavier Legette over 37.5 and Chuba Hubbard over 81.5 rushing. And I've got my Bet365 MVP bet boost, Josh Allen, to carry on his amazing run of games to get a TD. That'll be in the rushing game, 250 passing, 50 plus rushing, and 2 passing TDs for an 11 to 1 bet boost. It's a big one, so go have some fun. And then we've got Tag's treble here. We've got Derrick Henry over 100 and a touchdown. Jamar Chase over 100 receiving and a touchdown. Jaden Daniels 250 passing and 2 TDs for the lads. And Bish takes through the punt touchdown treble.
The touchdown treble, we've got DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, and Devontae Adams coming in at around 17.5 to 1.
Bish, give us your final thoughts.
It's the business end of the year now. We're doing well. Keep going. Thank you for those that keep commenting and telling us what you're getting on. We love to see it, and we've made you a bit of money over the course of the year. And also, good luck to those in your fantasy playoffs. That time of year. So, best of luck.
So look, see you on Sunday, Bish.
Let's go.